Welcome to POS, the podcast where we find the piece of shit in people, places, and ourselves. Just a me and Bobby episode. And hopefully you're seeing us and hearing us, and we're talking at a regular rate. The last 2 weeks, it hasn't been computers, it hasn't been whatever. It's been us.
No, what are you talking about, Pat? We're perfectly fine.
See, you can do that if I just talk normal. No, I'm slowing down and you sped up. Just to make it's always like that's fucked up. He's slow now, but I'm not slow now. I've been anyway. I know you've been slow the whole time, man. Nice Olympics. I get
Everybody gets a hug.
Right. So right away, who is the piece of shit in this podcast? Is it Bobby? Because he was recording and sending me the last 2 episodes. So should he have done a better job of checking to see? Oh, it's sped up. There was a problem there. Or this week. He wouldn't have any. This week's problem was the background was that it was cats and cats were copyrighted on Bobby's thing. So it wouldn't allow us to show anything because Bobby had the cats on the entire time. So there was not one moment where they could do it. So they blocked it from us being able to show it to anyone. The podcast was fine. We didn't say anything wrong. We didn't share anyone else's music or content. We just had a background of someone else's copyrighted protected stuff. So should I have seen Bobby was a piece of shit for this? He would be for the sound stuff. I think would be the piece of shit because I have seen this happen with Bobby before. I should have remembered. And I'm the one who uploads it to YouTube. So when I started doing it, I saw that right away. But am I a piece of shit for that? Is it people who copyright cats? I don't care if they're your cats. That's not your content. That's not your idea. That's not your intellectual property. It's cats. That's stupid. I don't care. By the way, and I probably shouldn't be saying this, but if somebody wants to have in the background me talking like this and Bobby sitting there, we're all for it. I don't care what YouTube says. You can make fun. I'll be in your green screen. I don't give a shit. I'll be a cat. I don't care.
I'm going to need to see some money.
I don't. Life's too short to give a shit about a cat jumping around. We put something nice and fun in the background, and someone's like, I own cuteness? Fuck you. It's not that.
What's crazier is just on that point. You know what we haven't gotten taken down for? The boobs. Never once have we gotten taken down for boobs or lollipop licking. That's my point. The porn stars don't give a shit, but the kitten owners do.
Yeah.
The cats aren't seeing the royalty money.
Well, okay. Is the piece of shit people the YouTube because they obviously don't care about boobs, but they care about pussy. Hey-oh. It's like boom, boom. Is it YouTube for putting out things like this? I get it. You can't. If you're not going to lay down the law, then everyone's going to steal from everybody. And I get that, but this is stupid. Maybe they should look at it and go, listen, no one wants to watch this podcast anyway. The cat thing's probably the only thing that'll make them feel good about the dumb things they're saying. Who's a piece of shit in the story? Bobby, go ahead.
It is. Ooh, this is tough. I'm going to have to go with the Wuhan lab in China that let out the COVID virus.
Okay.
Because right now, good things are happening without giving anything away, and there's momentum. But I feel like if the world hadn't shut down for 2 years, that momentum that we're seeing now might have happened 2 years ago, and we'd be in a studio where, while these issues would occur, they'd certainly occur less frequently.
Possibly, but we're the only 2 idiots who would somehow make that also have problems.
No, as someone who works there, I can tell you we have problems pretty frequently.
Yeah, I heard you had problems this week. There was an issue with 45 minutes of no transmission going out or something.
Maybe that disappeared. Who knows? Maybe there was a reason.
No, not that one. I heard about that one too on Reddit. No, the next day, I guess people were waiting for Kumi and they waited 45 minutes. Then they canceled the show and said there was an issue with the transmitter.
Oh, I think that was yesterday.
Yeah.
I wasn't there for that.
The one you're talking about, I believe, is Monday.
Yeah.
Monday was the Star Wars girl incident that's going all over Reddit. But just we're backtracking from our YouTube thing. Who is the piece of shit in our story? You say it's Wuhan.
Yeah, that's who I'm going with.
It's you and I. As a team, as a collective, as POS the show. One thing we do is before the show, before we come on, not that we do huge, prep beforehand, but we always get together for at least 10 minutes at the most, chat about this, that, whatever, all the things. When we post show chat, it's just, all right, buddy, you have a good one. Me too. we should be at this point from January of this year on, we have had so many technical issues, this and that, where it should be like, hey, do you want to check quick to see if this is this? Hey, do you think we did this? We don't do that. And then you're exhausted from a long day. You send me sometimes I think that night, if not the next morning. And then by the time I get to it, when I'm running around doing radio in the morning, whatever, and I look at it, I just upload it, and then there's an issue. 24 to 48 hours pass before something can get fixed. And then everyone's like, oh, where the hell's the video? It's not consistent anymore. And that it can all be done away if we did this. So I think we need to start recording at the Wuhan studios.
I like it. I like it. I think Fauci runs that.
Yes. Fauci runs everything, I think. But yeah, I don't know. No, I don't know anything about the other thing we were just talking about, but I heard friend of the show and guest on our last Compound show, Matthew James, messaged me and goes, yo, you hear Cumia got real drunk and started hitting on women so cringy they had to cut it from the show, and then now that when you watch it again you can't see it. I'm like, no. So I tried to go on Reddit and see it. I read a couple of things, and that stuff you can never know it's true, but like supposedly according to the comment, you worked there, whatever. I'm just saying people were saying it was, I guess he had a couple beers and then he was getting a little like chitty chatty with the Star Wars girl because they were waiting to go on for the wet spot thing. It was nothing.
I don't know because again I wasn't there, didn't really watch it. It's not there now, but I'll say this: if what you said was true, then good for the fucking Star Wars girl. Enjoy your 15 minutes of fame. Like your name's the Star Wars girl.
Well, everything I read in the Reddit thing, no one is saying that she complained.
Oh, then it's fine.
I guess.
Yeah.
Remember, this is Reddit people, Compound fans, Compound haters, all writing stuff. The narrative of that story is that Compound is covering for making Anthony look bad. It wasn't. Oh. No, it wasn't. Yeah. I just make that clear. Nobody is saying that Star Wars girl or Chrissy's show or anyone that was on Chrissy's show was complaining about how they were treated. I think it was one of those. People believe that we didn't put it out there because it might have put him looking at a bad look.
Oh, I mean, I honestly, like I said,
it's his company behind a paywall. He can take down everything if he wants to.
Yeah, he can do whatever. I wasn't there. The reality is it was probably something to do with it went over, it sounds like, and it stops recording at a certain point, and everybody thinks it's one thing, and we're just not saying because we like speculation. But who knows? I don't know. What are you up to tonight? Yeah.
I think it's brilliant. Because I, for a while now, have not watched a lot of anything Compound live. I have not. I say to you, and I've said it out here before, and as a person who likes Compound, because you and I get to go on shows sometimes, listen, I can't help what the heart likes. 4 o'clock has become misery loves company for me. They did a 3-hour, 20-minute show today, and I was dying as Bob was teaching everybody his sex moves. There's one called the Frogger where he's got his legs humping the. Gina came in and confirmed it. They are doing. It's just crazy to watch. I'm enjoying this world that is. So therefore, I have not watched a lot of Tax at 4 o'clock. I go back and watch replays, or I watch highlights, or check things out afterwards. And this right here, me finding out from Matthew James, a fan of Compound 2, who's like, dude, did you hear about this? I didn't get to see it. It's not up anymore. And then people on Reddit going, dude, if you wanted to see it, you can't. Now, if you go watch it, you can't. Makes me want to watch it live.
Yeah, no, it's a brilliant marketing technique. I hope our
so that's what Anthony was doing. He wasn't hitting on that young girl. He was building an empire.
Yeah, I mean, I think we've seen a lot of interesting marketing techniques coming out lately. I wonder who's behind all of that. It's pretty cool.
I'm going to go up to young women now and be like, yo, girl.
Nope. You're not famous enough. Nope.
What's up,
Let me tell you a lesson I learned real quickly, Pat. We are not famous enough for that.
Speaking of that, I'm going to flip it. You know what's been happening to me? I've been getting hit on in the last week by women who are married by my age or older.
Yes. Give me more information because that relates to the story I was trying to segue into.
You want to just tell your story first?
No.
I don't have much more than that.
I need this advice. How do I get hit on by married women?
Okay.
Or maybe women getting married tomorrow.
Here's the 2 ways.
My age.
Right? Here's the 2 ways you do it. This is all that I can explain what's happening. you show passion and happiness on a radio show, and
You just
you,
said two
you
things I
post a
can't do.
picture with your kids at your son's graduation party. Those two things got me. I'm not kidding. 6 different. And this is not me bragging. I'm not saying they were any of them were hot. I'm not saying they're not either. I'm sure that I don't. I'm not in that world of dating and anything. Anyway, it doesn't matter what it was. I definitely wouldn't go with somebody who's married. But regardless, it's been complimentary at first, but then like past complimentary.
Yeah.
I did get one just friend who was complimentary and even said, "Yo, I'm not hitting on you. I'm just gonna say, in the last couple months, you don't look your age." And I think what happened is that when I shaved the beard off, I looked so much older that when I grew it back and it didn't come back gray and it's like redder except for a little part, that people are like, and I've been wearing a hat lately. I think those factors have made me look younger. So therefore, people think it looks good, but it's just dressing up shit. It's putting a bow on a pig. You know what I mean? That's all I'm doing. But that one person said that, but then the other ones, I'm getting flat out hit on.
I like when it goes beyond hitting on, like you said, like, and it's straight up sexual harassment. You're like, I like this.
I don't, though. I'm very uncomfortable. I don't like sexual harassment in the workplace or the non-workplace.
Welcome to my day-to-day feeling, Pat. So the uncomfortability is just a welcomed addition.
Well, I'm always uncomfortable.
Yeah.
I didn't need a new one, but like, so we'll get to your story in a second. But I saw the picture part. But the thing that got, and I guess I kind of get this, on Thursday, so yesterday, my days are all blended up. When I was on Chaz and AJ, they were going to be interviewing a actor from a TV show that I love, the show called From. Its season finale is coming on.
From what?
Boom, boom. Anyway, that you don't think that joke was done on radio?
Who's first?
Like you're saying it here, you don't think on fucking morning radio? From where? I have to sometimes go.
Was like Chaz or AJ?
Oh, all the listeners. It wasn't even them. It was like, from where? Not to him, but like in the writings and in the comments, all that.
Well, it's good. It's good to know I have a reason to drink tonight. Didn't need one, Pat, but it's good to know I have an additional.
Listen, you do these things to make me go off on a rant. You know what you're doing. There's a difference.
Poking the bear.
So earlier in the week, I think it was Tuesday, the producer Ruth was like, "Hey, you had mentioned you watched that show From."
Yeah,
that guy.
You said you were excited. You were going to get to ask some questions.
Right, but I told you that already. But I'm guessing most people didn't watch the last episode because they couldn't see us. So therefore, I'm kind of like retracking a little bit here.
Oh, my bad. All the sex appeal was gone. I forgot.
Yes, so it's like, yes. See, but and believe me, most people go, "Oh, I know your voice from radio," but no one goes, "It's a good voice." They weren't getting. There's no good world in this. I guess when the episode doesn't go up, I guess that's the best one. I guess that's the best one. But so she said, "Hey, you've mentioned you like that show a lot. None of us really know the show." The guy was just going around doing the rounds because this Sunday is the season finale of season 2. So, and then got this guy Harold Fontenot, and I was like, "Oh, he's like my favorite character in this. He was in Lost. He was in The Matrix 2 and 3. He's been in a lot of different stuff. He's been acting for a long time, but he never really had a lead role. I love this show and I love all the characters, but he is the guy that makes all the characters work together. He's great in this.
He's the glue that holds it together.
Yeah, but it kind of has to. Like he's like no scenes off, dude. Like there's like a couple, but even if he's not in it, they're talking about that motherfucker to him. But anyway,
it's like a Peaky Blinders guy. If he's not in the scene, nobody watches it.
Very much so. I relate it a lot to at the very beginning, Rick in Walking Dead. It's centering around him. He has to be the voice of reason in a world of no reason. He doesn't understand what's going on, but for some reason, everyone is going to him for the answers to questions he wouldn't know. Very similar to the point where he's also a sheriff in this. Very similar. So anyway, so I was excited. So she said, "Could you write a question or two that Chaz might be able to use, whatever?" And I'm like, "Sure." So on Thursday at 9:00 when he's about to come on, Chaz even said, he goes, "Feel free to jump in on this." Which usually with interviews, there's too many. There's a lot of people talking. The third mic, I'm not even really third. I appreciate them saying that, but I'm a guest that's there regularly. So I'm like, it's Chaz and AJ. There's Ruth, there's Phil, and I'm the comedian who sits in, and I get to do it twice a week a lot, which is cool. But I'm not part of the show. So when interviews happen, I'm supposed to sit back and be quiet unless there's a reason or a quick snipe or something that's not going to hurt the flow. But too many voices, especially with this guy on the phone doing all these calls, it'll be confusing. And they're like, who asked that question? But Chaz said to me, feel free to jump in. You like the show. We want these guys to feel like we're happy they're here. Because he understands that when they do these calls, they're doing like 20 of them in the morning. It's just like a service, a lip service on both ways. And when they're just like, so you were on Lost. How did that go? Is this the same? Oh, what do you think how the season's going to end? Any spoiler? So they're hoping for that stuff. So I kind of got excited. So he said, go. I was like, because they were saying, like, this show's kind of like unpredictable. And I just went off because in the show, he's done so many crazy things. I'm like, dude, the guy's wife died. He's got his son's pregnant in a world where there's creatures and stuff. You can't be having babies when there's creatures. They go, he had to get bile out of a creature and put out a bullet, try to kill the thing. He had worms under his arms. It's like, they go, there's a woman that killed somebody, but she might be the reason that can save everybody. And he has to make sure they're okay. His best friend died in his arms. He was just laughing. He goes, he's like, yeah. I go, so dude, two things. One, who's dying in the last episode? Someone's gonna. People been dying. Who's dying? He goes, I can't tell you. I go, is someone dying? And he goes, I can't say they're not dying. And I'm like, yeah. And then he was like laughing, and I was like, and there's a character that everyone hates, and I'm like, I go, you gonna punch Randall? He goes, in real life, I'd like to. And it was like, it was just like he was fun. They were excited for it. But I got a lot of messages afterwards going, dude, I'm watching it right now. I'm binge watching season 1. People were like telling, I literally had like 15, 20 people telling me I'm going to watch the show. Or I'm now watching the show because you were so happy talking to this man.
That's so cool.
And it even PLR reached out. It was like, the producers were like, dude, that was awesome. Like, it was exciting. I'm going to even watch the thing. Thank you so much. But because of that, people were like, I got older women going, you seem so happy. Must be fun watching shows with you. Would be cool to. And it's like, you ain't Harold Ponto, bitch. Like, I'll hang out with him. You'll talk during the show.
Yeah, you'll ask a lot of questions.
I believe me. He goes. He's like, they're like, you watch it like weekly or you binge? They go, season 1. I only found out about a month ago. So or whenever this next season started, it's like 2 months ago, whatever. So I binged that the second I saw it, but then I was waiting for season 2, and I'm like, well, your show comes out on Sundays on Amazon Prime on the MGM section of it. I go, so if I'm come home from a show or I'm around, I watch it at midnight on Sunday. He's like, dude, seriously? Just like, what? I go, yeah, dude, I love the show so long, I literally will watch it as soon as it comes on at midnight. It's fucking great, man. I love it. Did you like Lost?
I was a little young for Lost.
Right. But do you like shows where you don't know what the fuck's going on?
Sometimes, as long as there's a clear answer. Like, I heard Lost didn't tie up a lot of the loose ends.
Well, there might be, yeah, there were 7 seasons and they didn't know where they were going after a while.
Yeah.
The best seasons of Lost, people believe, were the first 2 or 3. This guy was in the first 2 and then was out. So, like, he was part of a good part of it. This one, you don't know what's going on, but the characters also don't know. And part of the show is that, and they're almost doing like an Easter egg to Lost, because like a lot of people would be questioning, like in Lost, is Lost supposed to be like purgatory of heaven and hell? Is it supposed to be an experiment? They're asking that, going, do you think people are watching us and making us do this? Someone else like, do you think we're dead? They're asking those questions out loud with all these people stuck in this town instead of at a beach.
I mean, I like to think I would like a show like that, but as I'm sitting here running through like my favorite shows of all time, I think they're pretty simplistic.
This is not simplistic, and every character is both likable and hateable.
Okay, because like I was just kind of running through my list real quick, and it's like I like a guy who lies to the cops and says he's a psychic and hangs out with his best friend. I like a show with 4 guys on the run from the war police who lie to the cops and hang out with their best friends. And
right,
solve
but you're
mysteries.
also looking for comedic. If you weren't looking comedic, there might be a couple of funny elements.
No,
no comedy.
I was just joking around. But
no, I like that stuff a lot too. It's like
I do like shows like that. Movies as well, I think, are fun. Where you like Inception. I liked going back and trying to figure things out the 3rd and 4th time in Inception.
When you saw it the first time, did you see it by alone or with people?
With people.
Were any of them dumb?
Yes.
I went with a girlfriend of mine at the time, and man, and I'm not saying dumb. She's just much younger than me at the time, like years ago. And she just didn't get. She kind of also didn't want to go, and she was a trooper. I was like, I want to see. She goes, all right, I like those actors, I guess. And she's like, well, but she admittedly is like, I don't get it. I don't want to. And I appreciate when years ago, I thought this was a dumb thing, especially when I was a drinking idiot. When she said, I don't like to think when I watch movies. I'm like, oh, what are you dumb? But I real as I older I get, I'm like, I like that idea. That's a nice simplicity of like, I don't want to think. I just want to.
I
Like
mean,
when you do
sometimes
comedy
you
shows
do.
and
Yeah.
someone's mad because like I hate Burt Kreischer, but I get why people like it because it's just nonsense. And some people don't want George Carlin-esque. They don't want to think. They just want a fart joke. That's all they want. So I kind of get that. But I would a show like this, I like the idea. I'm in a panic. Like I like that lately. Like The Last of Us, when that was on, I'm in an anxiety panic for like an hour. Like, what the fuck is going on? Until it ends. And then I'm like, feel good afterwards. It's almost like a nice relief.
Okay.
Being over.
I get that. With shows like that, I tend to have to wait until the season's out and then binge watch because otherwise I get real frustrated with myself.
Right now, if you, let's say you jumped into this show, you'd be able to binge watch 2 seasons.
So that's what I would do is I would wait until this episode for the finale came out Sunday and I'd watch all 3.
Right. But and speaking of that, is a TV show or movie ever been ruined for you because of dialogue?
Yes.
I tried to watch a show today. I was just looking for things on Netflix, and I keep getting like suggested to me in my queue a thing called Night Agent. It's from this year or last year, whatever. Basically, you can tell by the trailer part, it's the FBI. There's this young, handsome man. His assignment is that he's in the basement of the FBI, and he's supposed to be. And there's like a phone in this room that's never supposed to ring. If it does ring, all hell is happening. And an agent has to be in that room at all times. So like he does like an 8-hour shift just sitting by the phone. He can get other FBI work done, but just if that phone rings, he's got to answer it. But it never fucking rings. They don't really explain what that is. And I'm not spoiling it for any. I literally got to about what I'm going to tell you, and I couldn't watch it because of something I was saying. So if you'll get to this part early enough anyway. They show this other woman, younger lady, nothing to do with the FBI. She's like some TED Talk fucking lady. I guess she was like uncovering some bullshit, whatever, and then like lost her job, whatever. So she was staying with her. It seemed like rich uncle and aunt, and they were really like, hey, they go around, they go touring and doing salespeople things or whatever, and they were staying there. She goes to sleep. She wakes up in the middle of the night and hears arguing and noises and planning, and she goes down, and her aunt and uncle, I guess, are like super fucking FBI spy people, and they're ready to, and they're about to get killed. And the woman turns and is like to the daughter, to the niece, and she's like, you need to run. She's like, what is going on? She's like, I can't explain now. You need to get out of here. And then the uncle grabs her and goes, you need to go to the house down the road, the Fine's house. You need to go over there, go break inside. Here's a piece of paper. Call this number. Say these words in this order. You have to say it like this. And then they will give you help. Say, what's going on? So we can't tell you. So then they get killed as she runs away. She runs in there. She goes in. She grabs the phone, panicking, and she's quiet because the people are kind of come. And she calls the night agent, the star of the show, answers the phone. It's like, hello? Because they're not supposed to really be answering it. And they can't answer it like, hi, FBI, because it's like secret line thing, whatever.
Yeah.
They have to say the code for anything. And she goes, I was told to say night action. And I'm like, no. Night action? Are you ordering a hooker in the 80s? You want some night action?
When she first started to say N, how excited were you? When you got NI, were you like, no, fuck it, this is the greatest show ever? I did not think that, but
that's wild. What's the code? No. I'm not.
No.
I'd
rather die.
I would never say this, but my uncle.
Look, I think based on your fear, you're on the right track. But if you don't say that word, I cannot send help.
Bobby, you always say you want to do pranks. We set it up with someone. You and I, we hang out with Dan Brown. We hire like Mike O'Donnell and other people to pretend like they're the mass murderers going to kill us. Dan, you've got to go to the room. Say this. And it's just racial slurs. And we just record. And him going, they're it's not a nice word.
Sir, it seems like you're on the right track, but I need you to confirm.
But
He
when the
finally says it, but the number we gave him is Kumia's, so he does show up with guns.
him and Gavin,
The game.
the not ER, the A team.
And plural, so they bring the automatics.
We don't go not hard R, the A team. Yo, 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 and they come through.
Yo, you know how Mr. T didn't like swimming or flying? We don't like swimming.
Theirs is so backwards that it's a white guy with a mohawk drinking chocolate milk. It's, it's the reverse of everything. Am I going too deep cuts for A team for you?
No, dude, every season.
All right, cool. So, but anyway,
times.
the second she says night action,
You go.
I can't watch it.
I'm out.
And I try to watch it again, but and then the guy gets out, talks her through the thing, whatever. But then someone says, "Oh my god!" They called and they go, "Yeah," and they said night action. And like, stop. If you're gonna go in canon and be in the world, why is that what the FBI would set up? Night action? I mean, I get it. You're supposed to say a thing that nobody would say, and nobody would ever say night action. It does sound like a guy who's like, I can't get women in America. I can only get them in Colombia. All the night action is crazy. Right, Principal Lady? It's like a 12-year-old with a mustache going, I'm beautiful lady. Like, all right. Night action.
Soy amiga.
But night action, as a writer, like that sounds like the first AI thing.
That's
like
probably
AI had to make up a word, and the show's called Night Agent. AI would go, "There's action, and it's a night agent, night action." It's like, oh no, we need writers like more than ever.
the strike before this one was over directors changing the script, and I like to think that's what happened here. And they're like, "Nope, we got to strike again. Fuck that."
Night.
But if a word AI had to come up with a word, it would be "loo," and it would be the act of stepping over someone you just humiliated, as in I just stepped over Tyronn Lue.
Or skip to my
Reef Shafir?
Lou.
No, Reef Shafir.
Right.
That was Skip to my Lou. He made it to the NBA.
Did you watch the NBA draft?
I've watched some of it, and I have come to one conclusion.
Grady Dick's outfit is the best?
Grady Dick's outfit is amazing. Congratulations, Drake, for all the lyrics you're going to be able to use with Grady Dick on the Raptors.
Congratulations to Grady Dick for having what is going to be the highest selling jersey in the history of frats of all time. There's not going to be a frat boy in the world without a jersey that says Dick on the back. Nobody's not. That's going to be the hottest seller there ever has been.
Nobody thought that the Diana Taurasi jersey would ever be usurped at the frat scene, but here we are.
Oh, and tenfold.
Yeah, 100%.
Dick jerseys.
But, the biggest takeaway I had from the draft was any team that wants to shut down that 7'5" fruitcake, holla at your boy. I won't let him step inside the 3-point line. He's going to look like a goddamn clown.
He's got the best coach for what he's going to do, man. He's going to.
Yeah. Cool. He won't be allowed in the 3-point line.
He's not going to go inside.
If he can work an outside game, great. Or if he gets
that's the NBA is that he is going to be shooting threes. He's going to be. He'll go to the limit. He'll defensively be amazing. He's going to shoot.
The issue, and I don't want to turn this into a sports podcast, but the issue that
he's
going to have. Okay, all right, I'm on board. The issue he's going to have really is in the NBA. They have the defensive three in the key. In Europe and the rest of the world, they don't. So big guys pack the paint there. You're a big guy who's stretching the floor.
Have you watched the last 2 years?
What do you mean?
We're not packing the paint anymore.
Where, in the NBA?
Yeah.
No, you're not allowed to. No, I'm agreeing.
I'm saying, yeah, well, that's not the game anymore.
No, that's my point.
Three,
so all these big guys aren't in the paint. They're already a step out. He's going to have to develop a quicker release than what he's got right now, is the takeaway. Because in Europe,
everyone is saying different. Every expert is saying his release is so quick. And what he did this year, and once again, people are going to hate this anyway, but whatever. What he did this year was by going to a French team that had the worst players and that never did well, so he could learn how to be the star. He had to get a quicker release because everyone was coming at him as it was. And his release doesn't have to be as quick because as everyone else, because he's 7'5" and where he shoots from either. Not many people can contend where he's going from anyway, but it is a quick release. He can do it on the move. They're saying he's definitely ready for it, but there is no, even this year in the draft, they don't even use the word center anymore.
No,
it's wings and guards. And
Most
that's what
teams
it is.
play like 1, 2, 3, and then the 4 and 5 are forwards. Yeah.
Right. Like this year, he was a big, and then you had Marshall be in the wing, and then Scoop be in the guard. And then,
Yeah.
and then those stupid twins. And the
But,
twins was that the Coors Light commercial years ago?
Yeah. I get what you're saying though about all the experts. And back in December, all the experts were debating who was going to win the Eastern Conference, and only one voice in the world of sports radio and podcasting said, "Watch out for the Heat. Don't sleep on Jimmy Bucklets." And it was the producer of the Davy Mack Sports program. So I'm not afraid to stand alone. I've been right before.
Okay, you weren't really right. Everyone joked that it was dumb. Like they didn't win the East. They won the Eastern Conference Finals. They didn't win the Eastern Conference.
They won the finals.
No, they won the final. They
represented the conference.
You're an NBA team. Once you get the player, you're fine. Yeah, you didn't make that call. You didn't.
I did. I said Jimmy Butler.
You might have said, okay, don't sleep on him. You didn't. I predict hands down Miami, Denver. If you said that, there's a different story.
I literally said I think it's going to be Miami, Denver after Miami almost blows a 7-game series up 3-0 to the Celtics after Giannis gets hurt when they're the 8th seed. Yeah.
And you're like, and then in a move nobody will understand, Chris Paul will be on 3 teams in one day. And
did he end up a Warrior? Because if so,
yeah.
Why do they keep shooting themselves in? God, Steph Curry, I want to root for you again. But you keep signing these wannabe superstars. Kevin Durant, Chris Paul. You don't fucking need them.
Kevin Durant's a wannabe superstar?
Yeah. What's he won? By himself. Because last I checked,
Curry's also never. No one's won by themselves.
Stephen Clay.
No one's ever won. But you're saying Draymond Green does not count?
No, Dre.
You're saying Draymond Green does not count to all those championships?
No, Dre as well. I'm saying like those same guys.
He didn't. No one wins by themselves.
Those same guys though were there. Then Durant came.
Well, no,
those same guys were there for his championship.
But Durant also had psychopaths in Oklahoma City. I mean, like, we're gonna get to this.
No, I know, no.
Yeah,
this has become a basketball podcast. Really quick.
Russell Westbrook's an unstable boy. That's not Durant's fault.
Okay, speaking of unstable
boys, he
goes
to New Jersey, then he goes to Brooklyn and gets Kyrie Irving. Can he get one not crazy bitch for a minute?
I mean, he chose those destinations though, didn't he?
No, he's got kind of, but like I think the money is what you choose over the destination at that point. Anyway,
speaking of
French
mentally,
people are going to be big. Dick. People are hating. I put the post up yesterday about Grady Dick and his outfit. It was, if you didn't see it, look up Grady Dick draft outfit. It is sparkling, glittery red outfit. And people were like, why is he just like, all these people were writing, oh, is he trying to be like Pride Month? It's like, he went to Kansas. He was trying to say, forget the ruby slipper. I have a ruby outfit. And everyone's like, oh, like, yeah, he's not doing trans stuff. His name is Grady Dick.
He's also a ruby red faggot for doing that.
Wow. Okay. Oh, okay. Maybe you should not say that word. Maybe you should say he likes night action. Maybe that should be the new code for it.
Yeah, he just likes night action. He's a night.
This guy really likes night action, if you know what I mean.
Oh, boy, maybe I should go into night action.
Now I don't know what it means.
Being gay.
Oh, okay. Oh, like the NBA? Like, where are you going? Night action. So yeah, I might try to watch that show again, but I doubt it. It was not worth it for me.
I wouldn't.
Oh, go ahead.
No, I wouldn't try to watch it again.
Oh, I try to watch everything again. I give everything a chance, even when I shouldn't. I just watch a bunch of different dumb things. What was I gonna say? Oh, you know what? Speaking of night action,
yeah.
Mateo Lane's new special is very good. He's funny. He's a funny guy. I don't care who he lays with.
No. It has nothing to do with that. I just not my cut. Like you feel about Bert Kreischer's how I feel about Mateo Lane.
Mine is because one person is an imbecile. Yours is because of homophobia.
No, it's has nothing. I have.
There's nothing silly about Mateo.
There absolutely.
He
breaks out into operatic verse.
I'm not going where you're going right now.
He breaks out into operatic verse at random points.
Opera singer.
Yes, it's great. It's not my cup of tea. I think it's silly. That's like what you find silly about Bert is what I find silly about Mateo.
No, Bert Kreischer is not funny, and I know the world's going to figure it out someday. Bert Kreischer is not funny.
Both of
Diaz
them
is not funny. I will say both these things out loud. They are not funny. They are liars. They are liars.
both guys we're describing
are your favorites.
cannot wait to take. No, I'm talking about Mateo for you and Bert for me. Those two individuals cannot wait to take their shirts off.
Yeah, but Mateo looks better.
They both love taking their shirts off. Both of those gentlemen you described.
Mateo's also not
love getting blackout
comedians.
drunk.
I just enjoyed this special. You love shirtless fat boy telling jokes. There's a difference. You think he's great. Like he's your Mount Rushmore of fat comedians.
No.
Fat comedians.
No.
Who's your top four over 300-pound comedians of all times?
Ralphie.
They had to. So I hate to say this because I just
Did you say over 400 pounds?
I was gonna say 3, but now I was gonna go 4. But we'll say 350. To be fair, and that's a guess though. We don't know. But here's the criteria, because most of them are gonna fall under dead, which is like sad, but yes. So they had to be that fat when they died.
Okay.
So we're not going like Jackie Gleason because he got all thinner later.
No.
People or like other fat dudes who got skinnier later on.
Okay, Ralphie.
You think Ralphie makes a? I'm asking. I know what I think. You think Ralphie? We're gonna make Bert Kreischer our bar. He's not putting him on the thing, but Bert's our bar. Okay.
Okay.
I don't find Bert funny. So to me, I want to see will you have higher or lower than that. So you believe Ralphie May, body of work, stand-up comic, better comic than Bert Kreischer?
So we're saying, hang on. No. Body of work. Are we saying that includes on podcast entertainment or just literally pure stand-up? Then Ralphie, yes. Then I would definitely put Ralphie above him.
I shouldn't say that. Stand-up, but other ways of being comedic. So I will allow being a guest on like Ralphie's appearances on O&A compared to Bert's appearances on like Rogan or something. That's fair. Being comedic, but not like sketches or not that shit.
Then that gets a little grayer there.
Because if you're going to say Patrice, as great as he is, Patrice also became a superstar because of those things, and people knew that personality with the stand-up. So I think you have to kind of do it. It's fair. It's not fair. I mean,
we're skipping steps. Patrice is going to be my number one.
Well, no, I know that. What I'm saying.
No, you're absolutely right. Yeah,
just go that way.
The reason I was asking specifically about Bert and Ralphie was literally what you just described, because I think stand-up wise, Ralphie blows Bert out of the water.
Yep.
Ralph's a good storyteller, or Bert's a good storyteller, but he's much better just telling those stories on a podcast. I get what you're saying now, and you see the clips of him laughing, and I get it. But if you go back to when Bert wasn't doing podcasts every day, he was once a month on Rogan. Those appearances were good because he put time, and you could tell he prepared it almost like he was doing.
To be fair, I hated him then too. I hated him on the Travel Channel. I've always hated him.
No, I get that, and I did as well for a while. I found him.
I hated him when he had a cabin and he was in the water.
But then you see
that shit. I hated every dumb idea he's had. I hate when he cooks. I only like when he's with Tom Segura, and Tom Segura is calling him fat. It's the only time.
Which is the only time I'm really not as into it, which is weird because I like Segura alone too. But no, and I get what you're saying. I understand where you're coming from with the annoying thing, but then you find like the true heart of Bert in there sometimes, and you see like the real passion that's behind it, and you go, oh, he's not just a big goofball. He's trying. Sure, he gets drunk too, but you know what I mean? You see the human there. So
okay, I don't want to get enough Spanish for that, but is he trying, or is he realize that this is the only way to make this money to live this lifestyle, and he's also a drunk?
That's true.
It's easy to try when the world is behind you and you've got the literal, I hate to say it, machine behind you, that you are just this printing press of money.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? He also had all these friends, especially Rogan at the beginning, and everyone else just constantly telling. That's what my problem with Diaz is the same thing. I'm not, for anyone listening, do I really think Bert Kreischer and Joey Diaz aren't funny? Of course I don't. They're not my cup of tea, like we were saying before. I don't think they're top comics. I think that they get promoted and pushed by very influential people, and they get thrown at you in the biggest influencers in that whole Rogan circle. Hinchcliffe is not a great stand-up comic. I mean, Segura, I believe is. That's my preference. I think he's like Louis C.K. levels, but lower, but like storytelling, cringe-wise. I just love what Tom does. So in that world, I mean, I don't think Joe Rogan's a great comic. I think
so. Yeah, no, I get the point you're making. Yeah.
So therefore, what I'm saying is, they get things pushed there. So I don't see passion. If I take Ralphie's appearances on other radio shows I heard him on, he was always quick and brilliant and fast and everything there too. So even with all that, I would put Ralphie ahead of Bert on the mountain.
Okay.
You can put them both on the mountain.
Well, I'm gonna put Ralphie on.
We're leaving Bert off the mountain until there's a spot left, because maybe you'll prove me wrong. Maybe Bert will make the mountain.
Yeah, so Ralphie's I'm gonna put Ralphie
on.
I
agree with you, mountain.
The critique I had with Ralphie was he does do a lot of what Bert gets critiqued for. He would laugh over other people's jokes, things like that. So that was why I didn't. I thought his stories were great.
But to be fair,
like
he can't move his head without a neck. He couldn't even see.
I get it. I get it. I was just saying, that's where the critique came from. But
are we making separate mountains, or are we just doing your mountain?
I figured we could do
mountain.
Both. We could do both.
Whatever. No, that's fine. No, I just want to know how you wanted to go with this.
So then we got Patrice. I don't think anybody's going to debate on that one. Yeah, obviously. Artie Lang.
Now, I'm not saying he's not hilarious and one of the greatest on podcast and show persons ever, and his stand-up isn't bad. He was short. Is he fat enough?
I don't know. That's the
question. I don't
question.
think he's heavy enough to make the Mount Rushmore.
You know what? That really helps because my mountain was getting quick
and
filled quickly.
And this is gonna sound fucked up. You know what's ruining him from making the mountain?
His nose.
Drug habit.
His nose. Literally, if he had the cartilage, it would put him over the.
But it would be fun to have the nose without the nose on the mount. It would be good. Erosion. I don't think he's fat enough.
Well, I think we've got a good solution here in that Tony Clifton with erosion will become Artie Lang. The weather, it'll just.
See, I would say instead of Artie, my first thought would be Louis Anderson. I mean, just
Louis can have
his body of work back then, and how famous he was before having the internet and things, and everyone knowing him as the fat fuck stand-up comic.
Yeah, Louis Anderson would be on the Mount Rushmore.
Fat as fuck.
But what we have for Louis is it's the same as a Mount Rushmore, but we call it a civil union. So we put him over there. It's the same as the Mount Rushmore, but it's just his own special place.
Why is he going over there?
It was
night action?
It was night action. you got it.
A night action mountain. So was Kevin Meaney fat enough for the night action mountain?
Yeah, Kevin Meaney.
Night action mountain is 300 pounds.
Okay, perfect.
Because sometimes night action
causes you to
get something
dramatically
has good weight loss.
Yeah. So Tony Clifton.
By the way, we think we know the name of this episode.
Yeah, night action. Tony Clifton. Any arguments there?
Yes.
What?
We're not doing Tony Clifton. He wasn't 350, dude.
Oh, he was clearly. He was still
short
is
too.
Okay. All right.
He really and
no. Obviously,
it wasn't his real belly. So it's like,
here's the question: Belushi, how much did he weigh?
Is he a stand-up?
Oh, that's a fair point too.
Actor, that's a whole different world. Farley be on here too. He's not a stand-up.
No, I specifically left Farley off for that reason. I was thinking writing, but yeah, you're right. Okay.
Panette.
Okay.
I mean, literally for that one bit, but still. It's like,
how about Hicks?
Hicks wasn't 350. What are you doing?
I don't know. I'm just throwing names out there.
See, it's harder when they're fat. Bert might make fuck women. Wait, there's gotta be fat women.
Not if they're going on our Rushmore.
Well, no, but the women are too. God damn it, Bobby. Women are allowed on our Mount Rushmore.
Sure, if they make it.
Segregated one. By the way, I don't know why I shouldn't say this, but I'm almost proud of you. You let Patrice on, but then you had a hard night action cross where you made a separate mountain, but you let Patrice on, no problem. So at least color isn't an issue with you.
No, I have no issue with that.
Because I think, to be fair, because we have to equal rights being what they are and being fair. It's not fair to say 350 for a woman, so we'll go 250 for a woman.
Okay, so Amy Schumer then.
Is she the best one of them?
No. Before we like, this is kind of like when you go down and you're coaching 8th grade basketball and you pick a 7th grader. Before we go to the 7th graders, can I just say I would like to include Gabriel Iglesias on my mouth?
I was waiting for you to say that.
Yeah.
I was shocked you didn't say him first. I literally just listened. Great episode on Rogan today, by the way, with Fluffy.
Oh, really? I'll have to check it out. I really enjoyed
it. They know each other, but they've never gotten a chance to sit down and talk.
Yeah.
His coming up story is so fucking great, and he didn't even get into any clubs where he was from until he became famous. The first club he's from LA. The first club he ever worked as a host was in El Paso, Texas. and Rogan's like, that's crazy. He goes, yeah, dude, they didn't really let Latino guys do stuff. He's like, unless you had Latino night, we didn't really get things. It's like,
it's crazy.
He sold out Dodgers.
Yeah.
He talks about that too, which is nuts.
And he seems to have stayed a good guy the whole time.
They went they went over the time they were allotted at Dodger Stadium, and you know how expensive it is just to put on a show there and everything.
Yeah.
They went over where you get fined. It's $100,000 fine for going over the 3 hours that they went to, and because of union and all that stuff anyway. And Rogan's like, were you mad? He's like, it was the greatest day of my life. I cried when I walked on stage. I would do it again. I would pay that every day. He's like, I did Dodger Stadium. It's insane. He goes, that's 2 hours. He goes, Netflix only got 2 hours. The third hour, I threw my own quinceañera and I bought tequila on stage and we parked. I was like,
that's so cool.
Yeah. To me, people cannot like the style or the cleanness or think it's cheesy. In this world, there are certain people that look at him as the best comic. A whole culture looks at him a certain way, but he translates that culture. People know Fluffy. To me, I know right now because of the way if you're a huge comedy fan and you're focused on certain worlds of comedy, you know Bert Kreischer. But I do think if you go overall in the world, more know Fluffy than Bert. And I think more know Patrice than Bert. And I think maybe not more Ralphie than Bert. Maybe not. Bert might be more famous than that. But I still think Ralphie's comedy is way better. So I like Fluffy, Patrice, Ralphie. This mountain's going to fall. Oh.
All right, I got my fourth name. You ready?
Well,
now
there's a fourth guy over in Night Action who's like, who's joining me?
That's a good point. Rosie O'Donnell will join you.
She's not big enough.
Back in her heyday.
See, that's another one. You know who would be on it if she didn't lose weight? Roseanne.
Oprah.
Roseanne would be on that thing in a fucking stand-up wise. One of the best female stand-up comics ever. Even at her point in the 80s, one of the best ever.
I wouldn't even fight you if you wanted to put her on the regular Mount Rushmore.
She just lost too much weight.
Yeah, no, that's the issue.
That's what I'm saying. It's like
this guy. I know we've had like
she can't go on Night Action. She's very racist. She's very homophobic. She can't go. So,
stir things up. She's not a carpet muncher.
Tom Arnold.
So my fourth, and you might fight me on this because he's not quite as well known as these other guys, but Mike O'Donnell.
Mike O'Donnell is our friend, but he's not even 350 pounds. He's not a fat man.
He qualifies.
He's not even the fattest man to be on the show.
Who would be your fourth? I'm curious, and then we'll do my last story and get out of here.
Not Bert. I don't know his exact weight, so I could be wrong on it. And yes, he's not as known, but stage-wise, he's better. I would go Earthquake.
That's literally who I was thinking. So yeah, that's our fourth.
I think he's still at that weight, whatever. And I think if we really went into like that world of comedy, we might probably find a couple more we're not even thinking of. But Earthquake, I mean, I've gotten to work with him, and there's nobody better. Like there's only a couple people that you literally watch and the room shakes. Like that's why that the name fits. I mean, but it's like to me, Earthquake.
Literally, I've never gotten to work with him, but every comedian I respect who has described it the way you just did.
It's
the room shakes wild. And the name fits.
It's wild, like right away. And no matter what, everyone, even when they're like looking like I don't want anything to do with this, within 5 minutes, arms uncrossed, dying, laughing, crushes. And also just a great dude too. Like what's cool is, all right, this is when people say to me, "Oh, Pal, you never made it in comedy. You're not a real comic." Okay, we just named the Mount Rushmore of fat comics, and I've worked with for 3 of the 4. So fuck you, people. 3 of the 4, and Fluffy's still alive. There could be a chance. You never know. And by the way, 2 for 2. I was gonna say 3 are alive. 2 alive, 2 dead.
Just like we drew it up.
And never mind.
Go ahead.
No, that's more of a. It's not a joke, I should say.
Got you.
But the two that are alive. If you were gonna choose just like by certain standards in health,
so we got Earth. I mean, you're saying
by
who
the
would
way,
we want?
we only had one white guy on our mountain. So Bobby, good for you.
Yeah, I get a bad rep, but I'm not that bad.
Well, maybe with the whole let's make Dan Brown say the N-word. And your paycheck is written with K's.
K's buy sneakers too. Isn't that what Jordan said? Anyway.
No. I mean, Jordan, really? Brandon Marshall? I mean, that pick sucks. Anyway, get Scoot. But, yeah, so I think that's a good mountain. I agree with
a great mountain. Yeah.
Bert's off the mountain.
I mean,
and Louis Anderson's all alone in Night Action Mountain.
Yeah, who else can we put on?
Maybe they got to be that and fat.
Maybe we'll make it Night Action Hill, so the standards aren't quite as high, and we.
I think next week we do a Night Action Mountain,
Pete,
but not weight class.
I agree. Just gay comedians.
We don't say that here. We say Night Action.
Oh, I forgot.
The whole purpose of the code.
Oh God, I fucked everything up
within like the first day of the thing. It's not as funny when we give out the clues.
Fuck, we'll try again tomorrow.
I'm doing this tomorrow. All right, what's your story?
So, we've heard, I've made a reference to the Jamaica joke a lot on this podcast.
Some would say too much.
Most would. I may have even called her a cunt on the Davey Mack Sports Show we did today.
Night Action. We need another term.
But what a lot of people don't know is in order for a relationship to become that toxic, you can't enter an untarnished individual, right? You have to have the damage. Go ahead, Pat.
Can I chuckle?
Please.
You can't enter an untarnished individual.
Dude, I know. If I... Oh, God. That was the
They
problem.
weren't tarnished when I wasn't in there. Our nation. By the way, that could be a mountain. Anyway,
I mean, Larry would have been on there.
Not saying anything else. Our nation. Anyway, all North Carolina comedians. That's what it is. So anyway, untarnished entered women.
No, you know what I'm saying. Like, in order for a relationship to be that the damage has to kind of already be in place. In order for somebody with, what do they call it? Borderline personality disorder to really fuck with somebody's head, the damage already has to be there that you're looking for certain things and things like that, right?
Well, therefore, yeah, but it takes two to tango. But yes, I understand.
Yeah, but I'm saying, like, typically when dealing with a raging psycho, if you're a normal individual, will go, this is too much for me, and walk away. If there isn't already something kind of in place that goes, oh, no, I need to try to compete. I need to try to win. Love is a battlefield. And I'm not trying to do a Pat Benatar joke, but you know what I'm saying?
Strong.
Heartache to heartache.
You're not trying.
No promises.
Demands. How are we not gonna do it?
She could still get it to this day. Anyway, long before.
I understand what you're saying. In that,
a lot of people know.
A lot of people would try to walk away in theory, but most people do not. So I don't think that's even really true. Most people do stay longer than they're supposed to anyway, because either they say it's love, but for the most part, it's a combination of loneliness and also you feel like it's your fault, not theirs, because their toxicity does make you have mind games and think, I wasn't like this with other people, or everyone treats me this way. Why are you like them? All that shit's there together. Go ahead.
Fair enough. That's a good point. I guess I'm bringing my own perspective and applying it globally. But, you know, a lot of people know about Jamaica. I make the Jamaica jokes because I had to. There was a girl.
You wanted to.
Well, there was a girl well before.
You said it like you served in the war because I had to.
Well, no, I meant like
we didn't want to go over to Vietnam. We had to.
The setup I was doing before I realized that sounded like a Muse wannabe cunt was I made the jokes about Jamaica because I had to, or it would have killed me. I didn't make the jokes about Kate, or it would, because if I did, it would kill me. And the point is, like, there was a girl long before Jamaica, and she's getting married tomorrow, and that's really fucking me up.
What are we gonna call this girl?
I just said her name, but
No, I know, but where she needs a
it,
location.
ooh,
Where are they getting married?
we'll call her Scranton.
Oh, she looks now. She
Scranton.
just seems thick.
No, not at all.
No, but not in a good way.
No, not at all. The opposite.
Oh no,
She is in good. She is
Scranton
still.
sounds.
That's not where she. But Scranton's
If a
the
woman
nickname.
said, "Hi, my name's Scranton," I wouldn't.
Much like Jamaica, Scranton also signifies something, but a different thing. Anyway, she's getting married tomorrow, and it is
Well,
really.
congratulations, Scranton.
Is that what you're supposed to say? Because it's
Yes.
10:16. We're probably going to be done with this podcast by 10:20. At which point, I think I'm going to line up 19 shots because that's how many years I've wasted, and just slam them and then text her. So
Why? She's
you're
happy.
saying go
Leave her
with?
alone.
I don't think she is.
Yeah, she is. She's thinking of anything but you. She's getting ready for one of the
I'm
biggest
not
days
going
of
to
her
text
life.
her. No. I'm definitely not going to text her.
Don't text her. Don't go drink. Don't go do any of those
I'll
things.
be completely honest.
Leave her alone.
When I saw the pictures and the whole thing earlier, I deleted her number. So in case if I do get drunk, I'm not going to text her tonight. It's all good.
Is every this is a real question. It's gonna sound like a fucking goofy thing, but give me your. It's a question that needs honesty.
Mhm.
I can also answer this too. And a lot of people would say one thing, but I think if you're honest with yourself, people's answers will be different. Is it okay for anyone that you used to be with, no matter how they broke up with, for them to be happy?
The most
honest mental answer, not the right thing to say.
The most
okay for them to be happy.
The most honest answer I can give is not the ones I tried, or not the ones I really tried in. Those hurt. The ones where I was kind of like, "Oh, we'll see where this goes. Take it light and easy." Them, like, there's a girl.
Because you feel like that should have been you, or do you feel like that means that they didn't try with you the way they're trying with other people?
Oof.
Some here, some there.
This one, some here, some there. Yeah. That's definitely exactly it. Actually, you nailed it. Yeah. So
I think Jamaica would be more of the side of this person tried harder with them than they did with you.
That's exactly.
I think Scranton, I don't know much of it, but that sounds like the other way, where it's like that should have been us. It could have. It could be either one of us that fucked it up, but that could be us.
Scranton's always the one in the back of the mind. You're like, at some point the timing will just sync up.
I got Scranton on my mind.
Yeah.
Scranton on my mind. And I can see Scranton with no fucking, just no neck and just a mustache and a cowboy hat. I don't know why.
That'd be awesome.
Scranton.
But I guess the real question I have is, have you ever been in a bar fight, and how do you initiate one? I just assume you find a guy about your height and weight, and you tap him on the shoulder and goes, "Excuse me, sir, would you like to engage in fisticuffs?"
I have been in bar fights, and there was no cool lingo. And I'm not gonna lie, I've been in 3. 2, I did not initiate. 2, someone came up to me, and I wish they said, "Pardon me, sir, for a duel, I would suggest we go outside." No, I had one guy go, "That's my woman." I said, my response was, "That's not a woman." I got hit, and then I got in a fight with a guy. So another one was just a guy who hit me because he was drunk and thought I bumped into him. And then as he hit me and I turned to hit him back, he went, "Oh, you're not the guy who bumped into me." That was a bar fight I had once. He just punched the wrong guy. We both got thrown out of the bar. And one time I started one, but I was actually working at the bar, and a guy got out of control. I worked at the bar, but I was off my shift, and I was helping a security guy, couldn't handle anything. And this guy got out of control and tried to break shit off the wall of the place. And I had to get involved, and I fucking hit the guy.
Nice.
But none of them did I use the King's English.
I really don't want the police to report to read fat white guy arrested after yelling, "I'm Dalton," trying to punch somebody, slipping and knocking himself out.
Well, if you need your Sam Elliott, you give me a call. And hey, if it does, I don't want you to get any fight, Bobby. I don't want any problems in your life. I don't want to have them. But that being said, Tuesday, when we're recording a Compound Media, wouldn't that be a great story to tell?
That would be a great story to tell. I do like where your head's at. And to answer this one, it's not even so much that like it could have been us. It's like, you know, the person that was always kind of there for you, and just the timing never synced up. And now you know that level of intimacy is going to be gone. that level of friendship's never going to be the same because I wouldn't
It's
be.
got all sad because I couldn't think of anybody. Holy shit! Like,
I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. But like,
but I was like, oh yeah, and then I was like, oh wait, I didn't date that person. Oh wait, I didn't. There was nobody that I dated that was always there. I have never received love from someone who was actually there. And I'm not even talking just dating. I think it's my fit. Oh, that got me so sad.
dude, that's not a good way to end this show.
No, I'm fine with it. I go to therapy. It's cool.
Yeah, maybe you do need it. Maybe some people do. Jesus.
Oh, yeah. None of them were.
No, but so the point, like, I moved here in seventh. I moved to PA in
You
seventh
don't
grade.
understand how my heart, I felt it drop, my body temperature changed, and I couldn't hear you. I'm like, that hurt.
I stopped mid sentence because I was like, Jesus, is he dying?
I was dying. There's no one that cares
Just me and Frank.
for now, but I'd have to text you. Like, I'd be dead for 3. I have a show tomorrow night. Nobody would notice I was dead till 8 p.m.
I guess it just me going, I guess he just froze. All right, talk to you soon.
They would just do the show without me.
Oh.
Go ahead. Sorry.
No, I
Sorry
feel
to
bad.
ruin your
But you know, like when you're the new kid in school, you got to make a move quickly, figure out which group you're going to be friends with.
school.
Yeah, so when I moved in 7th grade, this
Like,
is
there's
when
girls from 7th grade?
I mean, that's not the
Bobby.
last time we dated.
Oh, gosh. Shut up. I thought, oh, you stupid boy. No, you can't be
No.
mad at a girl from 7th grade.
I'm not mad, dude. That's the point. Like, it would be easier.
You wouldn't have become these people. The person you loved in 7th grade was not going to be the person you were
No,
with.
you're misunderstood. That's when we've. This has been like a long running thing.
Yeah, I'm saying is if you met her in 7th grade, that ain't a lady you're going to be with now when you're a sad old man.
On that note, this is the POS show. I'm gonna kill myself, so don't worry about any of my plugs. Pat, what do you
The
got?
thing is, though, will anyone notice?
Yeah, somebody will.
Tune in next week for our night action Mount Rushmore.
Yeah.
And then 2 weeks later, the 4 people who love me and Bobby. Can we fill them out Rushmore?
No, we can't.
My kids don't count. So it's like, you can't put them on because they love me, but I'm the reason they're here. So it's like, oh my God. I'm going to have to go watch something real fucking sad.
Dude, I'm so sorry.
No, it was great. I'm not mad at it. It was just, I'm literally laughing at the fact that when you said that, like, you know, that person that was always there for you. And I went through anyone I've ever dated. I'm like, nope. I thought quickly about one girl I had a one night stand with, and she shouldn't even be in the thought process.
Jesus, dude.
But after we had known each other for like a week or two, and we made a joke about how there's something about how we both like meatball subs, like that was like a joke thing. So she had it in a crock pot. I didn't know this. This was when I was in college. We finally hook up at her place, and afterwards, while I was laying in bed, she brought me a meatball sub, and I'm like, "This is the greatest lady ever." But she was also engaged to be married, so we couldn't really date. But I'm like, "Oh, that's love." Meatballs. She knew I wanted a meatball sub after having sex with her.
No, that's beautiful, dude.
Yeah,
I remember.
That's the one person I could think of that would.
Nice. Yeah, I remember a similar situation senior year where Scranton's boyfriend dumped her the week before homecoming, so I broke into her locker and put flowers in, even though I had a girlfriend at the time, to make it look like she had a secret admirer, just so she didn't lose social status.
No, you did because you were hoping to get double bang action.
Nah. No, that was the thing. Like, the only time it got to that point was whenever I needed out of a relationship, and she saw that, she'd flirt with me to the point where I'd be like, all right, I'll dump her for you. And then she'd be like, I don't think we're there yet.
Yeah, I dated somebody like that for a while too. Like that,
it was great.
Was like they weren't happy if I was going to be moving on. So they would try to get involved. But then the second, I'm like, oh, you know what? Maybe we'll give her a chance. They're like, oh, no. And I was like, yeah, I've done that too.
But like looking back, it's always like, she showed up when I needed out. Even the last time was, I probably shouldn't even say this, just doing time frames, but the last time was like Jamaica. She kind of helped me get through that. You know what I mean? Like, so it just sucks that level of intimacy is gone. But congratulations. I hope you're happy.
Happy. I hope your husband turns into night action.
He's from Utah, so he probably fucking will.
He loves night action.
Yeah,
he believes Jesus had apples in a tree or something, right?
Exactly. The good news is, former guest of this show booked me, so I will be performing, actually headlining a show tomorrow at the same time she's getting married, Pat. Anthony Quinn's birthday party. So that should be a fun one in Elmwood, New Jersey. If you're looking for an interesting time, come see me do 30 minutes as the love of my life slowly walks away to another man at the same time. I'm sure it'll be a straightforward show and I won't do anything nuts.
Now, I hope this show comes out today. You know what? Well, I'll get it up today. So that way the legions of listeners can rush to the Bobby Tamburo headlined Anthony Quinn show. Favorite of mine. Anthony Quinn.
Figured you would appreciate that.
And then if that's happening, I will be headlining at Retro and Derby. I was going to be hosting, but my buddy Frank's not feeling well. So
feel well soon, Frank.
But
you know what?
He backed out, but some other funny comics will be on that as well. And Sunday, I'll be at Comics Mohegan Sun hosting another round of Last Comic Standing, 8:00 show there. It will not be live, but be on the lookout for another episode of POS on Compound Media. We're going to record it on Tuesday. We're not sure exactly when that will be coming out, but it'll be close in the vicinity, probably around 4th of July, time off time or something like that. But we're going to record
for that week. I would check.
Subscribe, because it's going to be happening more. People actually this time around are kind of excited about when we come there. So I'm not saying that we're being told anything about this becoming a regular thing, but it's not becoming like a thing where we have to go, can we do this? It's becoming, oh, cool, and I'm bored. And if people watched the last one, you liked it, the fun flip is that it's going to be a different booth boy than we've had before. And I'm looking forward to that too, because they're all great, but a different booth person. So I'm excited for that. So maybe a special guest, if not, all fun stuff. So subscribe to Compound Media, go over there. And here's the thing, they just told me, just on my phone. You don't have to be racist to subscribe to Compound Media. You can just not be. And you can be there and we'll have some fun. So come check out POS on there, see our old episodes. Go check that out. Get on over to our Patreon as well and see that. Eventually, we'll be able to get some of the clips from or the episodes from Compound when they're ready, and we'll be putting them over there anyway, so you can check them out. So perfect. Lady Scranton, I hope your wedding is bad. I hope your life is good, but your wedding is bad. I want you to have a bad memory of it.
Yeah, and then that you guys are in that 50%.
Yeah. And then don't bother me on Saturday night late after the show, because I'll be watching from at 12 o'clock. So.
Yeah, so, and if you aren't seeing me at Anthony Quinn's party, see me July 15th at the Bijou Theater up in Pat's neck of the woods. And
that's a Saturday, or
that is a Saturday. And yeah, that would be awesome. Be awesome. And I would see me sooner than later, because if things keep going the way they are, I'm like an expiring fruit. On that note,
by the way,
put me on the...
That's another word for night action.
I was going to say, put me on the night action mountain, and if you can't join them, beat them, and don't be a piece of shit.
Night action.